The United States has finally acknowledged on a large scale that there's a genocide happening in Sudan. Finally. They have also imposed sanctions on the Rapid Support Forces movement leader, Hamdi. His name is, and I'm going to have to read my screen here to pronounce it. His name is Muhammad Hamdag Daglo Musa Hameti, also known as Hameti. But he has 7 companies that are ran in Dubai, including a gold smuggling firm. And these are all being sanctioned. Excuse me. He has 7 companies, the RSF leader, that are in the UAE. They're all being sanctioned. This is the first time I've personally been able to smile hearing in one sentence Biden administration and anything else that has followed. The UAE is accused of arming the RSF with weapons to terrorize its own citizens in Sudan, but they, of course, will be denying these claims and they'll probably continue to do so. This conflict began in April of 2023. It has caused famine across the country, displaced millions of citizens, as well as, of course, the violence, the rape, the deletions across the country have exceeded the killings that have been happening in the country that rhymes with Zaza, right? The famous war that has been happening in October 2023 that many in the world are conflicted about, that has so much coverage in the news. And unfortunately, that has happened. Right? The amount of deaths and casualties on record that have been happening in Sudan, including but not limited to violence. I stuttered there because it feels uncomfortable repeating this, but of course we have to cover it in current events. Violent rape against women and little girls, and the murdering of men, boys, and infants. These are Africans turning on Africans. These are Sudanese people turning on their own, which is so saddening to hear. So these sanctions are a start, but hopefully not the end of America finally bringing attention, at least some large government bringing attention to this. So, as I mentioned, these are systematic deletions of women, little kids, little girls, little boys, and of course, men. And the UAE, as well as greedy leaders in Sudan, are to blame. Of course, these violent crimes are committed according to ethnicity in Sudan. What is just as horrible as hearing about these violent atrocities being committed against innocent Sudanese civilians is that when they try to escape, they are tortured and have to endure even more violence and retaliation for trying to flee. And of course, we haven't even touched on the famine that has been affecting Sudan. This abuse is unimaginable. So picture this. These horrible things are happening into your country at the hands of some people that should be your own, but they're not. And when you try to escape, you're just being pulled back. You're just being pulled back and have to endure physical violence and trauma. And this is not getting covered at all whatsoever. And I think violence against anyone, no matter what nation, is horrible. However, I just find it so disheartening that we have heard nothing about these atrocities. But on Instagram or YouTube or any other social media, you'll find, rightfully so, lots of advocacy for Zaza. Rightfully so. But that's another topic. That's for another channel to cover. The issue is unknown, but it is the largest humanitarian crisis that's happening right now. Let's look at a couple more numbers. While countries in the UAE, such as Dubai, Abu Dhabi, are living in luxury. These countries are living in luxury off of the backs of the Sudanese, thanks to the Sudanese betraying their own. I could be getting my wires mixed up. Please let me know in the comments if this is making sense. Am I making sense? Are they betraying their own people? The leader, Hamadi, how could he watch his people suffer to please the Arab community when his own black Sudanese people are suffering? Again, I do not like playing the race game, the race card. I'm so exhausted on that game. I really am. And I say this as a black American woman. Okay? Um, that being said, Sudan, who's being affected? Black Sudanese, right? Sudan is Arab. Sudan is also black, but it's black. The leader, Humadi, you're black, okay? But yet you're gonna kill and betray and torture your own people to appease Dubai, and it's for money, of course. Of course, it's for money. Everything is for money. I understand. I mean, I don't understand. I haven't been in that position of power, and I never will be. I don't want that. I'm not gonna sit here and just totally hate on Dubai as if I never at one point in my life wanted to visit. Okay. I definitely have been there for a layover. Have I been there for vacation? No. Have I thought about it? I consider it. Will I go now to support Dubai knowing what I know? How would that feel right in my heart? Long live the legacy of Dubai. Again, I'm not coming from a hating position. I love seeing those beautiful girls on Instagram in their flowy dresses and taking beautiful flowy dress photography in the desert. I'm not hating on that. It looks luxurious. It looks like a good time. However, long live the legacy in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Gold, bags, and expensive toilets. And of course, let's not forget gold. Yes. Speaking of Abu Dhabi, they also deny involvement in supplying weapons to the RSF. But of course, there's evidence that otherwise suggests that this is also accurate and probably a lie. It is. Look, this even extends to other countries and mercenaries, including Colombian mercenaries. Check this. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read off of my notes here, so forgive me. According to the AtlanticCouncil.org, a mobile video has surfaced and been captured of the Sudan Liberation Movement, SLM. This is the opposing party to the RSF. So again, the Sudan Liberation Movement opposes the RSF. The RSF is the company, the issue at hand, the one that are creating terror for their citizens for the sake of gold. Apparently, the Sudan Liberation Movement may also terrorize their citizens, but that's for another video, another time for me to research that. So these two opposing parties, Sudan Liberator Movement and the RSF, okay, the Sudan Liberation Movement captured mercenaries working for the RSF, okay, and what they found was this: a passport and licenses for mercenaries that are Colombian citizens. Yes, Colombian citizens and mercenaries are in Sudan killing innocent Sudanese. So you got South America in the mix now. But guess what else they had in their backpacks, as well as ammunition and missiles? Exit visas from the UAE. The RSF will also deny any involvement with a nicknamed modern day slaughterhouse called Al Gunad from Sudan. My name is Ika J. If you've made it this far during my video, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video and comment your opinions. Thank you so much for taking the time with me. I know in this busy day and age that so many things we can do. There's so many ways we can scroll and look past events, but I really appreciate you taking the time to pay attention to this current event. Blessings to you, your mind and your heart and your family. Bye-bye.